Hello everyone, and welcome to a new GrandOwlGaming segment known as GrandOwlDiscusses, where basically I will be talking about things involving gaming and animation that I couldn't do on City into Twilight because of either timing reasons or because of things such as we don't produce City into Twilight as much as we would like to anymore because of college reasons. And today, I would like to talk to us about Justice League Action. The new show just premiered last night. Gotta say, it was pretty good, in my opinion at least. Now, it's pretty clear as to why Cartoon Network did this. After the ending of Suicide Squad and the Justice League trailer that happened at San Diego Comic-Con 2016, it's pretty clear that a lot of people are going to be riding the Justice League train and are going to be profiting off of the Justice League. And honestly, I have nothing wrong with that. I mean, Time Warner is working with DC and working on Cartoon Network, so it matches. It's like Disney and Marvel. They work together. Well, in Disney and Marvel's case, one owns the other. But hey, so what do I have to say about Justice League Action? Well, there was only one thing that I really saw wrong with it, and that was the beginning. By the beginning, I mean that Batman was on the scene hearing something, and the wizard was being chased by these like monster grunts, and then basically Batman took it upon himself to, save this old wizard guy and everything. And then there were some things involving the Rock of Eternity, the Brothers Jin, and Shazam. Shazam was probably the best character, next to Plastic Man, in my opinion. In other cases, we ended up getting some other segments of it, and at first I was worried. I was thinking like, so is it going to be other segments involving other members of the Justice League, and then basically none of them are going to interact with one another? But it turned out that it was basically just a whole overarching plot that lasted for an hour, which I thought was pretty cool. I wasn't expecting that, but hey, it was there. Now, as for some other things, it makes me wonder how long is it going to be running. Unlike other Cartoon Network shows, Justice League Action might actually run for just a full 30 minutes. Instead of it being 2 episode segments, they might mesh those episode segments into one and therefore create an entire episode instead of episode segments. And this is something that has not happened recently in Cartoon Network. The only thing that I could think of that actually has been doing this would be Pokemon on Saturday mornings, but nothing else has been doing this. And I think that it's pretty good that we're finally getting this again from the Justice League, which is another reason as to why I'm saying that this is a breath of fresh air. It is a superhero show that is more rough around the edges. It is a superhero show that is running a whole segment instead of 2 segments. And basically all around, there's a lot of personality that goes on with this. There were some members of the Justice League that I was expecting, and in this case, I'm talking about Aquaman. Why was an Aquaman in there? I mean, sure, we have Swamp Thing, but once again, if I were to decide between Aquaman and Swamp Thing, I would have Aquaman in there. I know it said 2016, it's definitely a year for like bringing out underdog heroes that not many people knew about. Henceforth, Suicide Squad, Black Panther being introduced in Civil War, and Doctor Strange being introduced to everybody and everything. Those were heroes that not many people knew about, and only some people really acknowledged them. Now they're basically taking the front lines, and everybody's just realizing how cool they are. Even I was introduced to Doctor Strange not even knowing that Doctor Strange even existed, and then after I saw the character, it blew my mind and I wanted to learn everything about this guy, which is probably why they're introducing Swamp Thing. As for everything else though, the voices in this one is actually also another interesting thing. Now in this case, there's only 2 that I could really talk about here. And that would have to be, well, first of all, Carrie Payton being the voice for Cyborg. I could really see Mr. Payton here being a voice for Cyborg all over. Like, he is now the official iconic voice for Cyborg, at least on Cartoon Network's point of view. He was there during Teen Titans. He was there during Teen Titans Go. I think he was there during the Lego Justice League thing. And now he's here during this series. So I could definitely see Cyborg, or not Cyborg in this case, but Carrie Payton, being the go-to voice for Cyborg. And I gotta say, I'm really happy that this is the case. I mean, sure, other people were pretty good at Cyborg, but Carrie Payton will probably be my favorite voice for the animated Cyborg. Another voice that I would like to give a shout out to in this case would have to be Dana Snyder, or Dan Snyder in this case, who did the voice for Plastic Man in this episode, and maybe throughout the entire series. For people who don't know, Dan Snyder is actually the voices for Gazpacho in Chowder, and the voice of Master Shake in Aqua Teen, and the voice from that rabbit from the Thundermans, whose name is not coming at the top of my head right now. Dr. Colosso, I think the name was. Yeah, Dr. Colosso from the Thundermans. That's pretty cool. Honestly, listening to Dan Snyder, he's a funny guy, and it seems like that Plastic Man's going to be a very comedic character, like he's the comedy relief. I think that he's found himself a good spot in the Justice League, and I can't wait to see more of him. So, what else is a major problem? Well, I don't really want to go back into problems. There was one other problem though. And that was when the Brothers Jin, the last three, had that whole power of the name thing, and it was like, oh, if we say your name, then your powers don't work. The thing is, now I know that this is probably just like a slight little oversight thing, but it still really got to me. They said the names Superman, Wonder Woman, Swamp Thing, Plastic Man. Last time I checked, the power of the name only works when you say their true names, not the names or the aliases. That's like saying, oh, I'm gonna say GrandOwlGaming and my powers are taken away. No, that's not the case. You would have to say my actual name. Or that's like saying, you know, oh, I'm gonna say the annoying voice, or, you know, somebody else's alias but not their actual name, and their powers aren't gonna work anymore. That was the only thing that really got to me, but I can let that slide, especially for the great episodes that they produced here. So please keep it up, Justice League action, and maybe a little bit later on I'll talk about this at the podcast as well. But right now I really just wanted to get my opinion out there, because this is a great new start to some new things in Cartoon Network, and I'm really hoping for the best over here, especially as we transcend into 2017. So thank you for listening to me, and I hope you all have a wonderful time. This is GrandOwlGaming signing out. Stay beautiful.